What's going on? It's your boy Sermon at Sermon's Domain on Twitter. Black is the new singer to look forward to. He is someone who is going to have a breakout year in 2017, and 2016 is really laying the groundwork. He hails from Atlanta, and he's had a rough journey to get to his debut album titled Free Black. He was signed to a label for about 5 years, from 2011 up until I believe it's earlier this year. The timeline is kind of shaky because he doesn't go into details about it, but I think from what I gathered from interviews, that's what it sounded like. So he was signed to this label, and obviously it didn't work out. They didn't see his vision. They said songs that are on this album weren't good enough. The crazy thing is he's never said what label this was, and there's no rumors online. Like, at one point I believe he was talking about how it was a label of a famous artist, but I can't find any information about it. I'm sure it'll come out because nothing like that is going to stay hidden forever. As far as currently, there's no information on that out there. There's an interesting note. Back in 2013, Black made a tweet where he said, "I'm starting my 10,000 hours. I'll let you know how it goes in 2016. You know, 10,000 hours is like the golden rule for how much practice you need to become a master at something." So 3 years later, Free Black is the end result. And that's what this album celebrates. The music, however, is far from celebratory. R&B artists tend to put themselves out there. Like, with Free Black, you're going to know who he is, what inspires him, what he's been through, both in the music industry as well as relationship-wise. There's a reason Problems was able to take off earlier this year using the Apple Music system, because it's dark, it's relatable. It really doesn't sound like any other R&B out there. I particularly like the lines, "So I found me a new thing. I'm not as lost as you think." Like, the whole vibe of it is very melodic, and it's one of those records that gets you hyped up, it gets you sucked in. So if you've been paying attention since that record, then you have the album, and the album does not disappoint. It's slowly becoming one of my favorite R&B albums of the year as I've been listening to it for the last 3-4 days. Elsewhere, he's penning messages on Learn Ya, where he's writing to a woman who is in a bad relationship. He asked her, "How are you supposed to grow when you're dating some loser?" I think it's another relatable record because many guys have been there before. They've seen relationships from afar and they're like, why are you giving this guy a chance when you could be with somebody better? Not necessarily me, but just somebody better that's going to help you grow, that's going to be worth your time. Then you have Worse Luck. That is the one right there. I'm not saying it's like the next hit single or anything, but as far as just being an all-around amazing record, this is my favorite. This is the one. I think the whole vibe of it all is just really chilling. Again, he's back questioning why this woman, not necessarily the same one from Learn Ya, would want to fall in love with him, because he has the worst luck when it comes to relationships. I think the piano that plays in the backdrop of the entire song is just beautiful. The subject matter was one that I felt really connected to the most. Both the intro and the outro serve to sort of inspire the listener. I think it starts the album off and ends the album off in like the perfect ways, because it's like you have this inspiration which kind of acts as like the bread for the sandwich that is the album. So you have a lot of different songs on the album where he's getting real personal, and not to say that the intro and outro is not personal, but I think the intro and outro work for a different purpose than other records on the album. He's basically telling you that you can make it on your own terms. On the outro, he makes it clear that he doesn't want to be a hit single. He wants to be a complete artist. He goes on this rant. Like, I love the structure of the song, because he starts out talking, gets into a verse, talks again, verse, breakdown. It's a long record, but I think it's all worth it listening from start to finish. So he's talking in between the verses, and one of the things that caught my attention was how he was talking about he doesn't want to be a hit single, because that kind of sacrifices who you are as an artist, in a sense that if he were to have a hit single overnight, he becomes that hit single. He doesn't become the artist. We've seen a lot of artists who are commonly referred to as one-hit wonders, they don't get the opportunity to showcase themselves with an album like Free Black, because by the time their album does come out, a lot of people have moved on. You gotta understand that Black is someone who knows what he wants, and he wanted his old label to help him. That didn't work, so he had to go and do it on his own for a while. And now he feels like he's prepared for the fame that's about to come with everything that he's been doing this year. He says, another line on the outro, he says, "I know I'm one person, but I kind of feel like this ripple effect is going to impact a lot of people." Free Black is pretty much starting the tidal wave that will be Black's career. Now that Black has been freed from the treachery of the music industry and he's free to do what he wants, this is now his time to shine. Free Black is an amazing introduction to who Black is as a person, what he's been through as an artist, and you'll find yourself rewinding this album over and over again. There is a lot of things to relate to on this album if you're human. So without question, I highly recommend checking out Free Black. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section below, and then like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, share the video. Follow me on Twitter at @sermonsdomain, and as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate you for watching, and until next time, peace.